The grand hall of the Valorian Empire was shining like a world made of gold. Tall crystal pillars touched the ceiling, glowing with blue fire that moved like living energy. Every corner of the hall was filled with alien leaders from across the galaxy. Some had wings, some had scales. Some floated in the air like mist, but all of them stood proudly, as if they belonged to a place of power. In the middle of this grand gathering stood a small group of 5 humans. They were calm, silent, and very aware that almost every eye in the hall was staring at them. Not with respect, but with amusement, to the galaxy. Humans were still the young race, the late species, the planet children. No one took Earth seriously, not even today. The Valorian Emperor walked forward with slow, heavy steps. His silver armor shimmered as if stars were trapped inside it. His voice echoed across the hall, powerful and full of pride. "Today, we welcome all great civilizations of our galaxy," he announced. "Even the small ones," he added with a cold smile, his eyes landing on the humans. A wave of laughter spread through the crowd, soft, sharp, and cruel. Some aliens whispered, others openly chuckled. The humans did not move. They stood as straight as steel pillars. Refusing to give the Emperor the reaction he wanted, among the humans was Ambassador Lena Ward. The leader of the Terran delegation. She looked calm, but her eyes showed a quiet fire. For years, humanity had struggled to earn respect. For years, empires mocked Earth's progress. And today, the Emperor wanted to make that mockery public. He raised his hand and pointed at the Terrans. "Humanity arrives with no fleet," he said loudly. "Humanity arrives with no strength. Humanity arrives with nothing," laughter returned. Louder this time, echoing across the golden walls of the hall. But Lena Ward lifted her chin and answered in a steady and clear voice. "Power is not always shown on the stage," she said. The Emperor's smile widened like a blade. "Oh, I am sure," he replied, "but until humans learn true strength, you will stay children in a galaxy of adults." The words cut like a knife, but the humans remained calm, because deep inside, they knew a secret the Emperor did not. Humanity had spent years preparing for a day like this, years building something in silent corners of space, something the galaxy had never seen before. Then, without warning, the hall lights flickered. The glowing blue fire inside the pillars dimmed. Every alien commander looked down at their wrist displays in confusion. Red warnings appeared in the air, floating like burning sparks. Multiple warp signatures detected, someone shouted. "Unknown fleet entering Valorian space," another yelled. The hall fell silent, filled with fear and confusion. The Emperor turned pale as he saw thousands of enemy marks on the display. His voice shook with anger. "Who dares attack the Valorian Empire?" he roared. Ambassador Lena Ward stepped forward, her voice calm and firm. "You asked where humanity's strength is," she said. "It is arriving now, outside, in the skies above the Valorian capital." A massive human fleet appeared out of warp. Row after row of dark warships filled the sky like a storm of steel, and the day they laughed at Earth was the day humanity rose to prove them wrong. The Valorian capital world had never known fear. Its skies were always clear, protected by the strongest shields in the galaxy. No enemy had ever dared to come near it. No force had ever made the Emperor panic. But today, the sky itself was tearing open. The first human warship dropped out of warp like a falling star. Its hull was dark, metallic, sharp like a blade. Behind it came hundreds more, then thousands, each one larger and more powerful than anything the Empire had seen before. The Valorian military channels exploded with noise. Unknown fleet detected, shields activating. Prepare for battle. Panic spread faster than light. Officers ran through the command station with fear on their faces. The Emperor watched the sky through a massive window. his hands shaking as he realized how many ships were arriving. Ambassador Lena Ward and her team stood still inside the Grand Hall. Every alien eye was fixed on them. No one mocked now, no one laughed now. Fear replaced pride, silence replaced arrogance. Lena slowly raised her wrist communicator. She pressed one button, a simple button. A calm message traveled through space. Terran Fleet, this is Ambassador Ward. We are in position. And instantly, the entire human fleet shifted formation, perfect, clean, deadly. Ships locked into attack lines with machine precision. Thousands of engines glowed like a new constellation. It was beautiful and terrifying. Even for allies, the Emperor stepped forward, his voice trembling. This is humanity's fleet, he asked. Lena turned toward him. Yes, she answered. But this is only one branch of it. The hall erupted with gasps. Some alien leaders stepped back. Some dropped their data tablets, some whispered in panic. Their galaxy had believed humans were weak. Slow, primitive, emotional, but the truth stood in the sky. Heavy, powerful, undeniable. In the command tower, Valorian generals shouted orders, charge weapons, prepare battleships. Do not let them enter orbit, but nothing worked. Every system was too slow, every ship too small, every weapon too outdated compared to what humanity brought. The humans did not fire, not even once. Their silence was louder than war. Their presence alone was a declaration. A loud global broadcast activated automatically. The entire planet saw the human fleet hovering above them. Children screamed, soldiers froze. Civilians dropped to their knees in shock. They all asked the same question. When did humans build this? The Emperor forced himself to stand tall. He pointed at Lena and shouted, Is this a threat? Are you declaring war on the Valorian Empire? Lena did not blink. Her voice remained calm, controlled and sharp. No, she said. We did not come to start a war. She stepped closer, her eyes meeting the Emperor's, but we came to finish your insults outside. The largest human dreadnought opened its hangar doors. A colossal symbol of Earth glowed across its surface. A message was sent to all networks in the galaxy, one simple line. Humanity is no longer the weak one. The sky trembled under the power of Earth's fleet. The Empire finally understood what kind of force they were facing. And the galaxy, watching from every corner, whispered the same fear. If this is what humans kept hidden, what else are they capable of? The day of laughter had ended. Now came the day of reckoning. The Valorian Empire had always believed pride was strength. They believed fear kept order. They believed no one would ever dare challenge them. But as the human fleet hung above their capital world like a storm waiting to strike, the Emperor learned that pride was also the beginning of downfall. Inside the command center, alarms flashed red across every screen. Valorian officers shouted in panic, their voices cracking under pressure. We are surrounded. Human ships are everywhere. We cannot track half their vessels. The room was drowning in fear, but the Emperor refused to show weakness. This is intimidation, he growled. This is a show. Nothing more. He slammed his hand on the control panel. Charge the defense grid. Prepare the royal battleships. Humanity dares to challenge us. So we will teach them their place in the Grand Hall. Ambassador Lena Ward watched the commotion. Her team stood calmly behind her. The alien leaders around them trembled like leaves in a storm. They knew what was coming. They knew the Emperor was about to make the biggest mistake of his life. The Valorian sky darkened as hundreds of Imperial warships rose from the surface. Their engines burned bright, creating clouds of golden smoke. Rows of cannons armed themselves, each glowing with deadly energy. It was a beautiful sight, but also a dangerous one. The Empire wanted to show their old power, but they were about to witness a new kind of power. A Valorian general opened a direct channel to the human fleet. "Terran forces," he shouted. "You are violating Imperial airspace. Leave at once or face destruction on the human flagship." Admiral Reyes stood calmly. His uniform was simple, clean, and without unnecessary decoration. His eyes were sharp, focused, unshaken. He listened to the message in silence. Then he spoke in a steady voice. "General, your weapons are locked on us. Disarm them," the Valorian general laughed. "Or what?" he replied. "You may have many ships, but you are still only human." That sentence was the Empire's final mistake. Admiral Reyes raised one hand. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply gave a quiet command. "Fleet," he said. "Demonstration only." Instantly, every human ship powered up. Blue energy lines pulsed across their hulls like living rivers. The sky brightened as thousands of cannons charged at the same time, but none of them fired at Valorian ships. Not a single shot was meant to kill. Instead, beams of invisible energy swept across the enemy fleet. One by one, Valorian warships lost power. Engines died, shields fell, weapons shut down. Giant machines that once ruled the galaxy now drifted helplessly in the sky. The crowd inside the Grand Hall gasped. Some screamed, some fell to their knees. No one had ever seen weapons like this. No one had imagined that a fleet so large could disable an entire armada without taking a single life. The Emperor stared in shock. "How?" he whispered. "How did humans build such technology?" Lena Ward stepped forward. Her voice calm, almost gentle. "You mocked humanity for being weak," she said. "You never imagined we might rise stronger than you." The Emperor trembled in rage and fear. "This is impossible," he shouted. "You should not have this kind of power." Lena's eyes hardened. "Power is earned," she said, "not given by empires like yours." Outside, Valorian warships floated powerless. The human fleet shined like a new dawn. And the galaxy witnessed a truth they would never forget. Humanity had not come to start a war. But if the Empire continued down this path, humanity would finish it. The Valorian Empire had never suffered humiliation like this. Their entire defense fleet floated powerless above their own capital. Their proud warships drifted like broken toys. And their strongest generals stood frozen, unable to understand how humans disabled everything without firing a deadly shot. But even after this display of strength, the Emperor refused to surrender his pride. Anger burned in his eyes like a dying sun trying to shine for the last time. He stepped forward, lifting his staff high. "All units," he ordered with a voice full of fury. "Activate the planetary defense cannon." The alien leaders gasped. "No," one shouted. "You will destroy us all." But the Emperor did not listen. His pride was greater than his logic, greater than the safety of his people, greater than the peace the galaxy needed. Deep beneath the surface, hidden under layers of metal and stone, a massive superweapon began to awaken. A glowing blue sphere expanded with crackling energy. Its power could shatter continents. It was a weapon meant only for extinction. And the Emperor was willing to use it. In the human flagship, alarms flashed across the screens. Admiral Reyes watched the rising energy levels with steady eyes. "They are activating the cannon," his officer reported. "If it fires, it will hit a civilian zone first." Reyes exhaled slowly. Humanity had come to show strength, not to start war. But the Empire had chosen violence. They had chosen to risk their own people out of pride. And humanity could not allow innocent lives to be destroyed. "Prepare Phase 2, Reyes said calmly. "Disable the cannon." The human fleet shifted formation. Dreadnoughts moved like giants through the sky. Dozens of smaller ships moved into perfect alignment. Their engines glowed brighter as energy flowed into their cores. They were ready. Back in the Grand Hall, Ambassador Lena Ward faced the Emperor. "You are making a mistake that will destroy your own world," she said. Her voice carried across the chamber like a cold wind, but the Emperor shouted back, "I will not bow to humans. I am the ruler of the greatest empire in the galaxy." Lena stepped closer, her eyes sharp and unblinking. "Then today you will learn that respect is not taken by force," she said. "It is earned." Outside, the planetary cannon fired a beam toward the sky. A massive blue spear of energy shot upward, shaking the ground. Buildings cracked. Windows shattered. People screamed in terror. The weapon was so powerful it almost tore the atmosphere open. But before the blast reached the human fleet, a wave of shimmering white energy spread across the sky. Human ships released a coordinated pulse. The blue beam twisted, bent, and dissolved into harmless light. The entire planet watched as the sky became brighter than a sunrise. Silence followed, a deep, heavy silence that carried shock and disbelief. The cannon shut down, its core frozen by human tech, its power gone. The greatest weapon of the Valorian Empire had been defeated without a single human ship being harmed. The Emperor stared upward, his pride collapsing like a dying star. "How?" he whispered. "How can humans do this?" Lena Ward answered him clearly. "Because we did not come here to rule you," she said. "We came for respect." And as the disabled cannon cooled and the human fleet hovered like guardians above the world, the galaxy finally began to understand humanity was not here to destroy an empire. Humanity was here to prove they deserved a place among the greatest powers of the stars. The Valorian capital world lay silent beneath the human fleet. The sky still glowed faintly from the energy clash, and the once proud empire stood trembling under the shadow of Earth's power. For the first time in centuries, the rulers of the galaxy had been forced to see their own weakness. The Emperor, once a symbol of unstoppable authority, now stood frozen in the center of the grand hall. His hands trembled, his breath came in sharp, uneven pulls. He looked at the alien leaders around him and saw only fear, confusion, and disappointment. They were not afraid of humanity, they were afraid of him. Afraid of what his pride had almost caused, Ambassador Lena Ward stepped forward slowly. Her footsteps echoed across the golden floor. The hall felt colder now, quieter, as if the empire itself was holding its breath. Lena looked at the Emperor, not with anger, but with a heavy kind of sadness. "You nearly destroyed your own world," she said. "You put millions of innocent lives at risk. All because you wanted to mock a planet that asked only for respect." The Emperor's jaw clenched. His pride fought back, even as fear wrapped around his heart. "I do not bow to humans," he said weakly. "I do not kneel before a race that was crawling in the dirt when we ruled the stars." Lena raised one eyebrow. "You still think we crawled," she replied. "But today you saw how far we have climbed." Outside, the largest human dreadnought drifted forward, its engines pulsed like a beating heart. A massive hologram appeared in the sky for all Valorian citizens to see. A calm message, simple and clear: humanity comes in peace, but not in weakness. Billions watched from their homes, from the streets, from shelters where they had hidden during the weapon's activation. Many had believed humanity was small. Now they saw a power greater than any empire had shown in centuries. General Keller, one of the most respected Valorian commanders, stepped out from the crowd. He removed his helmet and sank to one knee. "The empire was wrong," he said, his voice loud and firm. "We judged humanity by our pride, not by truth. I kneel in respect." Gasps spread across the hall. One by one, alien leaders followed the general. Some hesitated, but eventually bowed as well, not out of fear, but because they finally understood the message. Only the Emperor remained standing, alone, shaking, drowning in his own pride. He looked at Lena, at the kneeling leaders, at the powerless warships in the sky. at the human fleet that had spared his people instead of destroying them. His voice broke when he finally spoke. "What does humanity want?" he asked quietly. "Do you want our throne? Our empire? Our world?" Lena shook her head. "Earth wants none of those," she said. "We want something much harder to give." She stepped closer, her voice becoming firm and unyielding. "We want respect." The Emperor closed his eyes. He had lost not to war, not to destruction, but to the truth. Slowly, painfully, he lowered himself. His knees touched the ground, his head bowed. "The Valyrian Empire," he said, "shows respect to Earth." The hall fell completely silent. For the first time in history, a great empire bowed before humanity outside. The human fleet shifted into a peaceful formation. Their weapons dimmed, their engines softened. The galaxy watched in awe. Billions across thousands of worlds whispered the same words: "Do not mock Earth." For humans rise stronger than anyone expects, and as the Terran fleet prepared to return home, one final message echoed across the stars. A message that would be remembered for generations. Humanity came late to the galaxy, but we will not leave quietly. The stars shimmered around the departing fleet. A new age had begun, and the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again.